Hey there folks, today we're going to talk about friction. So if you've seen the last episode of How to Drift, which is Understanding Grip, and it's a very long video with all the information, now we're gonna start to kind of dumb it down with a lot of examples and a lot of explanations. So today we will talk about friction. We're gonna keep it super straightforward, very quick, very simplified, so you could start to understand a lot and everything to make more sense for you, of course. Now, to get it straight away, pretty much the first question will be, what is friction? So let's use, for example, this steering wheel, right? Let's say the steering wheel is the road. Let's say my left hand is pretty much the car. So friction is pretty much the resistance between our car's tires on the road surface. So let's say, again, the steering wheel is the road, this is the car. This is the resistance between our car's tires and the road surface, guys. So this will determine if we will be sticking to the road or will be sliding. That's what the friction will determine for us. Now, to make this all make sense, of course, we're gonna move to point number 2, which will be, what are the types of friction? So the types of friction, guys, we have 2 types of friction. First type of friction is static friction. Now, what does static friction do? Static friction, guys, is what will keep our tires gripping the road when we are moving and the tires are rolling, or we're pretty much not moving, standing still, like I am right now with my car, right? Or if I am obviously moving with the car forward or I'm moving with the car backward, but we are not sliding. That's very important. That's the grip we have before we go into drift, before we initiate, we go into drift. That's what static friction is when we do normal driving. Now, however, when we go into drift, we shift and transfer to kinetic friction, which is number 2. So kinetic friction is pretty much when the tires are sliding. So kinetic friction happens during drift. Why? Because during drift, when we initiate, we break loose, we have less grip, and we're sliding. So that's kinetic friction. Now, you heard the term grip a lot, right? So we say grip, 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 grip. A lot of people use grip, and everybody's saying grip, and like they kind of like when you hear grip, you kind of imagine like probably something about like the traction, you know, how much you're like sticking to the road, like how much grip you have, right? But it's never explained. Nobody can really explain it or tell you anything good, right? So let's move into that and like dumb it down. So this leads us to point number 3. What is grip? The most commonly used term. Well, grip, guys, is literally a term. This term is used to describe how much traction or friction our tires have on the road. It's a result. Now, let me explain this. Grip is a result of friction. Grip is a term that people use to pretty much say like how much traction, like how much grip they have and how much they are sticking on the road. Grip is literally how well your tires are sticking to the road. It's created by friction. So grip is the result of friction. So that's about it. That's about how grip it is and so on, and the types of friction and so on. Now we're gonna drive a little bit and I'm gonna show you pretty much the things about. So let's put first gear and just drive a bit. Now, what do you think we're experiencing? Now, the car, we're driving normally, right? We're in first gear, gonna put second. So now we're experiencing static friction. Why? Because the tires are rolling, we're moving, but we're not sliding. So that's the static friction keeping us, and keeping the tires, sorry, sticking to the road. However, if we are to, let's say, clutch kick, now we quickly transfer to kinetic friction. Why? Because we slipped, we break the barrier where the static friction, how much grip we have to keep us sticking to the road, and now the tire slipped. So once the car slipped, we transfer to kinetic friction. So kinetic friction, as I told you, happens during drift. When we initiate, we enter drift, we're now in a slide, control slide, and that's pretty much how kinetic friction is. And you know about grip, what the grip terminology is. So pretty much, let's say we initiate and we start doing the track, we're driving, right? So these modulations and all these movements, what they are for is pretty much our modulation on the throttle, guys, is us pretty much balancing out how much grip we have and how much friction. Does this make sense? So this whole thing is just one very good balancing act of grip. Like keeping the car stable, we need to have a good balance. Not too less grip, not too much grip. Way too much grip and we won't be able to initiate properly. We'll like the car is gonna snap on us and so on. Too less grip and you will probably experience either crazy over rotation, which will lead to a spin out, or you just spin out immediately. So I hope this clears up everything for you guys, how friction works, and in general, using our throttle to balance this whole act, this whole things of physics, everything going on, is how we keep the car in a controlled drift. We use our modulation to control our grip, and obviously in the future we're gonna talk about rotation, because with the throttle we control not only our throttle, we control our angle and we control our rotation. But regarding today's topic, this is in a nutshell what friction is, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed the content, like and subscribe. Wish you all the best and we'll see you in the next video.